Alright, it's the German turn. July 1947, turn 23 of 24 on the board there. So I'm just trying to see if Germany can stay alive, and we're just doing some Hail Marys here, and that's pretty much all we got. There's only one attack that they're going to do, and that's this spot right here. So this artillery from cars has walked into Iraq unopposed, so that's a $2 increase to the Germans and a $2 decrease to the Russians. I have not yet done any attack rolls, but Germany moves up to 42 and Russia moves down to 49. All right. Everything else is non-combat move or replacement, so I'm just going to run through it here quickly. Infantry walked from Transcaucasia to here. Tank and Marine have used the transport 1 and 2 to join the rest of the German fleet. Yes, I have a cat rub on my leg. The German fleet's staying put so far. I wasn't sure what to do with it. I also have these German units down here, but I don't know what to do with them. Right now, they're holding on to that land. That's $2 they make, and we'll do our best to keep that for now. Just going to move up in here. I'm going to just zoom in a little bit, because this is the only thing that really matters. Let's go down back a tiny bit. All right, so let's go into my builds. I built 9 including the Free Spanish Infantry in Berlin. The tanks that were in East Germany have pulled back into Berlin. The 10 infantry that were in, what is it now, Bohemia, it used to be Slovakia, or Czech Republic, anyway, or Sudetenland. Yeah, so I moved 10 more infantry in here, plus I built another 8, so, and then we had 4 that were there before, so there's quite a stack in there. There's 20 something. And then the 5 that were in Australia, the 6 infantry that were in Austria have moved back into Bohemia, and we built 5 more there. The 2 that were in Hungary, non-combat, moved back to Austria. Almost everything that was in this stack has pulled back. That's the advanced artillery, and I have a total of 13 infantry back here, and I left 4 behind because nobody that's attacking has any really strong units, so hopefully my defense at 4 will take out something in the grand scheme of things. I thought about pulling back and making a big stack, but I think that might be the smart way to go. That might be the smart play. I had 4 or 5 infantry in Berlin. That's moved out into Western Germany. I don't know if I'll be able to hold on to that, but we'll see. The British and the Americans are able to do a pretty good 1-2 punch. So that was all I could build, was at these 3 factories. I managed to take 1 damage off of this one. Right now, the only thing that can damage my factories is 1 medium bomber that the Americans have. The strategic bomber thankfully died when it took out 10 damage on one of my factories. So there we go. So that is the grand turn for Germany. Not really all that much happening. Germany does have a few loose things. Let me just zoom out before I wander around. It's still got, say, the island of Corsica here that's worth nothing. It's got a couple spots that are here. It's got some Portuguese locations that are worth nothing, so nobody's bothered to take them from me. It's got a couple of spots here, but it's probably not going to keep any of these. That was just a Hail Mary to get a couple extra bucks, because that's worth 7 to the Germans, and this is worth 4 to the Germans. So, you know, you're doing what you can to gather up any dollars and pennies you can find. They've got Greece and a few other things, but that's only because it's out of the way for the Russians and the British. They seem to be single-mindedly focused on crushing Germany at the moment. So we'll see if that happens. And yeah, that's the German turn. So let's do one quick little thing here. Well, I'm laying down on top of a transport. There we go. Germany gets $4. So they get $4 in wartime income. $4 in wartime income. They collect 42. 42 plus their 4 for 46. And then they get some bonuses. They get a bonus for Transcaucasia. They get a bonus for Iraq. That's 4. And then they get 3 more for Sweden being neutral. So they get a total of $7 in bonuses. So what the heck did I say I had? Let's just count this out. I got 45, 6, 7, 8, 9, $53 for the Germans. Last turn they had like 60 or 70. They're really unable to make gains anymore. So I have a feeling that if I play this game for another turn or two, I might not have Berlin anymore. I might be able to just barely keep it, but that's about it. So we shall see what happens next. So yeah, that's the German turn. It's not looking pretty. These units here are Italian, half Italian, half German. Most of this fleet's Italian. I mean, you can kind of see the brown, but there you go. And that is the German turn. All right, turn 23, Russia. We got a few attacks here, so I'm going to show these. First, we're going to non-combat move. I've got everything on the board here. So non-combat move and infantry down here, so this artillery can't take another $2 off of us without actually having to fight somebody. Left the other one here, so the same thing doesn't happen. We got a non-contested attack down here in Transcaucasia. We brought these troops down. Now, let's take a peek a little further up. Up here, we had the stack of mechs. They've gone 1, 2. We had a stack of mechs in Moscow, 1, 2. They're going to combine here, eliminate the Japanese threat. They'll also then be in range of 1, 2 to get to there. If I need to, I've built 3 militia. I railed 2 infantry from Karjala, just north of Leningrad there in Finland. And these 2 other infantry walked in, one from here. I think both from here, actually. One from there. No, one was already here. So there we go. I was trying to remember what was going on with that. All right, so that's this side. And simple enough. The builds for this turn were these 2 fighters and a tactical in Moscow, 2 tanks here, 1 tank in Warsaw, and another tank in Romania. All right, everything else here is non-combats and combats. So these 2 tanks and these 4 tanks in Warsaw came from here. These 2 tanks came from, or 4 tanks came from here, 1, 2. The stack of tanks here came from here, 1, 2. Donetsk. The 3 infantry that were in West Poland have joined them. 2 infantry that were in East Prussia have gone to West Poland. All right, so and what else happened here? Well, everything I have. Oh, airborne attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the flight path, and that's where it lands. All right. And yeah, I just want to take away this one of these bases from Germany, and it's $1. Every dollar I can gobble from them is a bonus. All right, what else happened? I'm just gonna have to kind of zoom you in here. So we got this 1 infantry that walked over Romania and took over Hungary. That's $2 again from the Germans. Now, this is going to get a little complicated. So this stack of mechs, I got 10, 16, 17, I think. 3 Katiushkas came from West Poland into Donetsk and then into Bohemia. And then I've got this 1 tank that is also doing the same thing along with these tanks here. The 1 tank came out of Warsaw, And then the stack of 5 tanks, and I'm not sure exactly how many mechs were here in Slovakia. They'll be going into Bohemia as well. That's my only real roller. I do have one other roller over in Western Kazakhstan against 2 infantry, and I'll just get that all over and done with here. Oh, and we're also going to convoy the Germans again, because why not? If we can take $3, then it's $3 they can't use to rebuild something. We'll just move it down to here. Makes it look prettier. Alright, because you know me, I'm all about the pretty. Anyhow, not really. Look at my table. 5, 6, 7 mechs. Rolling at 4 because there's no terrain. Oh, no, I stand corrected. So I'm going to need to roll 2. Let's roll these 2 purples with no terrain. Everything else has a river for the first round. So they're going to roll at 3. And we got 1, 2 hits. That's all I needed. Okay, so there we go. Done. And then the 2 Japanese infantry. They got a 9 and a 12, so they're just eliminated. So there's that place, Western Kazakhstan's worth nothing. It's at the top of the Caspian Sea, but I don't want those Japanese taking over any of my Russian stuff. That's actually worth money, like Stalingrad that's next to it. All right, so that's that one. Now I got this big, ugly one, and I can set it up for you, but it's pretty basic. I'm attacking 10 infantry. The Germans would be crazy if they scrambled 2 fighters into that, because they'd lose their fighters, so they're not going to. That would be my call. They're not going to. Alright. So, 3 Katyushkas at 5. There is no terrain in Bohemia that they're attacking, so 1 is first strike. Alright. So 1 first strike from 3 Katyushkas. Now I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks at 6. 1 hit. And then we have, what do we got here? We got 6, 7 infantries, or 7 advanced motorized. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 advanced motorized coming out of Slovakia. They're rolling at 4, and I got 3 more hits. Now the next stack, I might have to roll a couple stacks. I've got 16, 17, 2, 4, 6. Let's just roll 7. And they are also at 4, so we got 2 more hits. So 2, 4, 6, 7. That's 7, and now I got 5 left. Got them twice. We got 2 of these. So let's roll 2 more dice here. And 5 again. And we got another 3. So what do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. And they have 11. So they get to, one of them is eliminated with first strike. So they get to roll 10 back. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 in defense. At 4. And we've got 1. Only 2 hits, eh? Germany just can't. Brutal. So Germany's got 1 left, and the Russians have to take 2 hits. So they're probably going to lose 2. Well, they've brought an infantry that didn't roll as well. I forgot about that. So let's roll 1 infantry for the Russians. Missed at a 7. So they're going to lose 1 advanced mech and 1 infantry. And the the Germans are down to 1 infantry left. So I'm just gonna assume they get hits, because yeah, I'll just roll 3 Katyushkas. I'll probably get 1-5. Oh, maybe not. 5, 6 tanks. Oh, there we go. We got more than 1 hit. We got 5 hits. All right, so 1 in retaliation from the Germans, and that's a hit. Okay. So these guys are going to lose 1 more advanced mech, and Germany's going to lose Slovakia. That will leave me with, oh my goodness, 3, 9, 19 advanced mechs. Three Katyushkas and 6 tanks. And Slovakia is worth 1. So I'm going to need a mitt full of Russian roundels here, I think. All right, so that was a horrible rolling on the part of the Russians, or the Germans there again. You just can't seem to get a break. And let's do that convoy roll. Black always attacks for me. All right, so that's 4 plus 2 for the sub. So Germany's going to lose $3. We're just going to stick it right in the ocean here, off their pile, underneath the convoy chip. Okay, so there we go. All right, wartime economy. Let's do that. Oh, 3. Okay, 3 it is. Oh, I don't forget. All right, so what are we doing here? Slovakia is worth 1. That is now Russian instead of German. Hungary is worth 2. That is also Russian instead of German, so that's 3. Thessaly is worth 1, so that's 4. I still have Macedonia though. Then over here, Transcaucasia is worth 5, so that's a total of a $9 swing in that Russian direction. So we're going to just take a peek at the board here, and Russia's going from 49 to 58, and Germany's going from 42 to 31. That is a wicked turn for the Russians. So there we go. Those are the final numbers. I mean, there's some loose random stuff that's going on over here, but this is the grand jewel. We have 19 advanced mechs, 6 tanks, and 3 Katyushkas in position. We've also got another 5, 9, 10, 14 tanks that are within range to hit West Poland or East Germany or Slovakia. So Russia's doing all right. Germany's in a hard spot. I have no idea what I'm going to do with Germany next turn. No idea at all. I got 1 more turn left, and I'm just trying to make sure that Germany stays alive. I'm starting to wonder if it's possible. All right. We shall see. We shall see. And I'm trying to make sure I'm playing realistically, because even with Russia, I know I could just give up on this stuff and let Japan come rolling in the back door. But I'm trying to play as though it's not the last turn. Just because that, realistically, that's how most people play. I can't stand when people start doing weird gamey stuff. It's the last turn. I'm going to do some crazy things to get points. Drives me nuts. But I get it. That's why I like the variable end. You never know if it's the last turn, and if it's not, you kind of messed yourself up. That is how it works. So I like that. So Russia is going to be collecting $5 in bonuses, 3 wartime economy for 8, and then it's going to be collecting 58. So I've got 8. Let's do another 8. And we've got 40, 58. 66, I believe. Could be wrong. There we go. So that is the Russian turn. And I will move on to Japan next. Japan's going to be a monster. I don't know what to do yet. Okay, let's do Japan's turn now. In turn 23, July 47. This is what Japan's going to be building. These fighters, 2 of them flew from here to land on the carrier, and 1 flew from Siam. So that's where the 3 fighters came from. I built the 2 fleet carriers, the 2 heavy battleships, the 5 destroyers. We built 2 infantry here to join these guys, and we built 2 infantry here in Kyushu. All right, let's focus up here. We've also built 2 infantry in Rihi, and the 2 light tanks that were in Rihi have moved up to here, 1, 2. The light tanks that were here went into Angara, along with the infantry from Irkutsk and Buryatia. I'm probably saying these all wrong. And then this light tank also moved into the mountains there. So there we go. I knew I needed 2 more Japanese roundels because these 2 are actually Japanese, but we'll deal with that in a bit. I'm not sure exactly what else my plan is. So that's what I'm doing up there. There was a no contest fight with the Russians, and no income changed hands because that place has got no factory production. All right, so this is a little bit more busy. Everything that was here has been moved from 88, 1, 2 to go here. I'm amphibiously assaulting this island of Ceylon, which has got a militia with 2 elite marines. I'll be bringing in a tactical and a fighter. That leaves me with 3 tacticals and 2 fighters in this land attack here. These guys are a non-combat move into Burma. They're not a land attack from Siam. Actually, we're just going to leave those 4 in Siam for now. I don't think I need to walk into Burma. So I'm going to land attack this. Here we got 1 infantry and 4 tanks attacking 2 Gurkhas and a colonial in jungle. So the tanks are rolling -2. But we're going to be amphibiously assaulting with mechanized infantry. What do we got there? I don't even know here. 5 regular infantry, 4 elite marines, and 2 regular marines. And all this stack here is going to be landing with those guys up in, I'm not sure what the name of this place is, so let's take a peek here. Of course, Bengal, there we go. I just want to make sure I said it right. Some of the names are different now than they were in 1936, I tell you that. All right, so let's do some first strikes. And I'm going to steal the 2 heavy battleships for Ceylon as first strikes. We're going to leave everything else for that one over there. All right, so let's do Ceylon first. We got 2 heavy battleships at 5. No hits. We've got tactical. There we go, we got a hit. So the militia shoots back, and it missed with the 9. Okay, so Ceylon's done. I don't believe it's worth any money. No, it's not. But it is a dockyard that will repair my battleship, potentially, and give me a movement bonus. But I already got a movement bonus from Burma in this sea zone, so it's not really required. I just wanted to make sure I had the dockyard, just in case I needed it. So we're just going to leave that right there, so I remember. All right, so Ceylon's done. Now let's do this other one here. I've got 2 battle cruisers, 3 heavy cruisers or regular cruisers, a damaged battleship, and undamaged battleship. So undamaged at 4, that is a hit. 2 battle cruisers and a green damaged battleship, all at 3. And look at that, we got 3 hits. We're done. 3 first strikes. Not every day that that happens, as you know. So we've got 2 Gurkhas and a Colonial that are just going to disappear and not roll. So that will move the FEC down a buck, and it will move the Japanese up a buck. So Japan's going to go up to 59, and FEC is going to go down to 7 to match the Australians. Ceylon wasn't worth anything, but I do have a narrow crossing here where one of my guys can come across without a transport, so we may have to do that next turn. We'll see. If not next turn, then maybe the turn after that. I had an option of going after this Navy here, either one. They're not that huge if split separately. There are going to be 2 more destroyers in this stack and 1 light cruiser, so they're basically going to be about the same on that end. This one's got 4 battleships, that one's got 2. They both got the same amount of carriers. I just didn't want to get involved in that quite yet, so I set up these blockers so that the fleet is going to have a bit of a difficult time moving forward, even though the transports are way back there. And I figure with the fleet I've just built over here, plus the fleet I already have here, plus these little pieces in between, I more than match all this fleet. So I'm okay with that. And this is a victory point right here. So we're taking that. Next turn. Alright, so now I got to land my guys here. So I'm just going to show you my landing here. So this is 4 light tanks. We're going to take this guy off. We're going to just add a single chip to this stack here of infantry. And these bayonets on these Japanese guys, rifles, I fling them around like a madman every time. Not intentionally, it just happens. Alright, and then we got these 4 elite Marines. They attack at 3, defend at 5. And then we got these guys here. So we've kind of brought a little bit more forces within range here. So, alright. That is it. Yeah. So that is the Japanese turn in a nutshell. I thought I'd have to do a lot more rolling, but that was handy. First strikes, sometimes they work in your favor, even if they are rolling at 3 or less. Alright, so that is it. I've non-combat moved this guy by rail to Hong Kong, built 2 there, as I already described, and that's basically what I've done. All these units that are here, they got gathered up from, mainly from British Malaya, a few from around here, like the Marines came from the factory, and the rest was just kind of scooped and delivered. I just wanted to get some stuff in range so I could do a land attack, and then I can scoop up the Marines and whatever other infantry are here on my transports and do an amphibious assault at the same time on Calcutta. Next turn, which is probably going to be my last one. I don't think the Americans are going to be able to be effective in taking anything because they spent too much money on the other side, and I've already eliminated their fleet once. All right, that is Japan. So there you go. Japan's now collecting $59. Plus they have a wartime economy roll of 6. So 59 plus 6. And then, of course, we got all our bonuses. Let's just back you up a little bit. We've got Java for 2, Borneo for 2, Philippines for 2, that's 6. Malaya for 2 more, that's 8. Plus the 6 we got, so we're at 14. 15 for Hong Kong. Kwangtung is 16. Hunan 17. Shantung 18. And Peking is 19. So 19 bonus plus 59. Right, that's quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. Let's take a peek here. I have a feeling I'm going to need to bring in some more cash, so I'm going to grab 19 for my bonuses here. I don't know what I had here, so I think it was close. 30, 40, 50, 9. We got 60, 78. So a total of 78 for the Japanese. They make more money than the U.S. and the U.S. is spending money on both sides, so it's a rough game. All right, and there we go.